for that long hair or the short hair. And now I'm going to something to help regrow your hair. So think about that for a second. If you're watching me right now and you are self-conscious about what's going on the top of your head, then please listen for the next 12 minutes or so, because if you have certain types of hereditary hair loss, if you're a man or a woman, I don't care, but you have these certain types of hereditary hair loss, this device was proven to regrow hair in 90% of those people, men and women with certain types of hereditary hair loss. I say it because I'm so excited about it, because hair is your crowning glory. This is an FDA cleared, patented device that actually will regrow hair. Yes, it will. It's not a shot. It's not a pill. It's not surgery. It's not some sort of some sort of painful experience. It's 11 minutes in the privacy of your own home. It's called HairMax. It's the Ultima 9. This actually is the lowest priced Ultima 9 HairMax we have ever offered. It's 6 easy payments of $31.50. We have not a 30-day, not a 60-day, not a 90-day, but a 180-day return policy on this. This is 6 months. We're going to show you results that happen in 6 months. We want to invite you to be somebody who feels like you've got a fuller head of hair in December and January, just to close out the year and start the year. And I'm going to welcome in my guest, Ellen. Nice to see you. Nice to see you. So Ellen Lagas is going to talk to us about the HairMax, but I do want to say that if you've seen this out in the market, and you probably have, in order to get the HairMax and the Activator that we're offering you here, you'd have to pay $349. What does that mean? That means that $160 of real money stays in your pocket by you buying it here. It also means that you've got the confidence that you have a return policy that actually is going to give you an opportunity to see the results.
That's right.
So, Ellen, you know, if somebody is kind of listening and they're going, okay, so this is HairMax. What exactly is it?
Right. Well, right now I am actually regrowing my hair, but HairMax is the pioneer in hair regrowth. And the HairMax, this particular Ultima 9, is the first hair growth device. It's a medical device that is clinically tested and has been FDA cleared to regrow your hair. And that's if you have hereditary hair loss, which 80 million people have hereditary hair loss. You'd think, oh, men lose their hair, but 30 million of them are women.
Wow.
And this will regrow hair to the tune of 129 new hairs per square inch.
Whoa.
When you regrow it. So it's just, if you've had hair loss, which I am a victim of hereditary hair loss, it's a real emotional problem. And to be able to regrow your hair without drugs, without surgeries, in the privacy of your own home. Of course, here I am on national TV saying I have hair loss. How wonderful, right?
It's a big deal.
Yeah.
And, you know, let me show you, we're going to share with you some before and afters, just so you know what we're talking about when we say that we're regrowing hair.
So here you see around the temple, so many women, as you're getting older, you start seeing hair loss around the temple area, especially if you've been wearing a ponytail a lot, you're losing your hair there. After just 16 weeks in this case, look at the hair regrowth, Rachel, that's come back here.
Wow.
And that's 16 weeks, and that's when you should start seeing some results. Let's take a look after 26 weeks on the next one. This is actually a woman. You might think that that was a man at the beginning there.
Right.
You can see through to her scalp. Do you realize that you're even getting sunburn when you have hair that's diffuse, right? After 26 weeks. And
so after 16 weeks, we're talking about seeing some sort of results, and then it just gets better and better and better. We are going to talk about who specifically it's for, but what is the protocol? Because maybe you looked at those before and afters and you're like, okay, sign me up, I'm in. What am I supposed to do?
Right, so here, this is what you'll get. Now, this is a laser comb, and when you just get it home, you're going to charge it for a few hours. It comes with a recharging stand, so it's very easy. You can then also keep it there. Just press the button, and that turns it on. And then the top button is what's going to show the laser light. And you don't feel a thing.
Right.
I know people hear laser and they get worried, but laser light, this is therapeutic, gentle laser light. It's at just the right level, so it's going to stimulate the hair follicles to grow. Now you can see that there are 9 laser lights here, and look at the TV teeth parting comb. Right. So if I may, I'm going to put this on my head to show you what you do then.
Sure.
And by the way, I can turn off this beeping sound. You can hear it. It's going to beep every 4 seconds so you know when to move it. So I'm going to start at the roots, and I'm going to make sure I'm bathing my scalp with the laser light, not my hair. So you're treating the scalp, it's stimulating the hair follicles to regrow. And then every time you hear a beep, you move it half an inch. You're going to do this for 11 minutes, and you're going to go all the way back and then come up, sort of like if you're fertilizing your lawn, right? Sort of doing the same thing for your hair here.
So do you do your whole head, or do you do just the part where your hair loss is?
Yes. Well, truthfully, you could do just the part where it's losing, but your hair's getting lost everywhere, so you should do your whole head.
Your whole head.
You're just noticing it at the worst spots.
Right.
But let's say you don't have time for the 11 minutes one day, so do it at the temples or back here. This was where my trouble spot was.
Okay, so we're going to show it to you on the model, and then we're going to talk about who specifically this is for.
Sounds
so
good.
The model is showing us.
Shelly will show us there, and may I even walk over there to
yeah,
her?
absolutely.
Yeah, that'd be great. So Shelly's using this. Hi, Shelly. Shelly's using this just like I was showing you how. But while you're doing that, may I turn you to the side, Shelly? I just want to point out that when we're, and you can keep doing that there if you'd like to, when you're younger and you have a thick head of hair, I challenge you all to think about how's that ponytail doing, and is that getting any thinner? Look at this here. I bet when you were younger, you were able to just barely get your tie around here. As we age, we lose some hair at the sides. We also lose the fullness through it. So you might want to think about that. We'll be looking at a chart shortly to see if this is good for you. But right up here around the temples is also a real great spot to touch. Now, the reason
a vulnerable spot to touch, right?
It is vulnerable.
Can we just talk about the results stats? Because I know that we have that graphic.
Love to do
and I
that.
would love to just share with you that, you know, while she's doing it, it's 11 minutes, 3 times a week. Am I right?
Yes,
Ellen?
and you can see how those hair parting teeth are making the grooves so that the light shines right down on the scalp where it needs to be.
And that's so easy. So you can do it while you're watching TV. You can do it right before you go to bed.
Exactly.
You can do it at any time that you want to. But that's 33 minutes a week. That's it. And we were showing you some before and afters. But I think we have that graphic that says 90%.
Yes.
Yeah, because really, I love devices because I love clinical results.
Right, and that's what the beauty of technology is. So 90% of the people who have used this, and we had clinical results done in 460, with 460 people, 9 out of 10 are getting great results. And that's just not a few hairs, that's about 30 plus hairs.
So we talked about how big the challenge is that, did you say 80 million people have these types of hereditary hair loss?
And that can even include those people who might be starting into menopause because of the hormone changes. Of course, check with your doctor if you're not sure if that's the case, but I can guarantee that that's a problem that affects many, many women.
And you know what, so we want to show you graphics, but before we do this, I just want to share with you, if you've been thinking about addressing your hair loss, if you've been thinking, you know, I've got to do something about it, or my heart feels like I want to do something about it. I don't feel great. I sit at certain places and seats if somebody's going to be sitting above me, or, you know, there are times when I feel like I need to wear a hat or I need to wear a scarf, or you're just self-conscious about it. For whatever reason, you're self-conscious about it because we think of our hair as our crowning glory. This is the way to get in, because this is the lowest price Ultima 9 we've ever offered. And this is the first day that we have it on 6 easy payments. And the easy payments, they disappear. We won't have them at the end of the day. So $31.50 to try this. And I want to show you now graphics of exactly who this is for, because we want you to be the 9 out of 10 who this is working for. We want you to get the 126 new hairs per square inch.
Absolutely, and here you can see in the gray shaded area, if you're starting to see that center part get larger, or perhaps at the temples where we pointed out, this is for you. Same thing for men coming up next in the gray shaded area, and you'll see that the women, it's pretty much general hair loss throughout. Men often have what we call male pattern hair loss. You'll notice it at the temples and at the crown there as well. If you're at the very bottom where you've been completely shiny for a couple years, it's not going to work. Right.
You know what? And here's the thing. We've sold over 45,000 of this particular model, but we've got other models. So people come to us for HairMax, and they come to us for our value, and they come to us for our lessons. There are certain, it's certain hair types, but it's also skin types.
This is what we tested it on, and we were able to test on light to medium skin tones. Not to say it doesn't work on dark. We can't do the test where you have to count dark hairs on dark skin.
Right, exactly.
So it has been tested on all of those. So.
So what that means is if you're black or you're a person with darker skin, it doesn't mean it won't work for you. It just means we couldn't count the hairs. So I say get it. If you're wanting to, get it and try it because you have 6 months to see whether or not it works for you. This is some more before and afters because we want to show you what we mean by it working with hereditary hair loss.
Right, and this is a woman who has had very, very diffuse hair, very little hair there before, and after 26 weeks, you can see that has filled in, and these aren't...
That's fascinating to me because she almost looks shiny in the
know.
before. So she almost looks like there's no hope. Like I would be somebody, if that were me, I'd go to the doctor and be like, okay, so this place is just gone. I gotta call it a wash. But that wasn't the case. It worked.
Right.
Yeah.
And the same for this gentleman. Look that we had to put a marker on his forehead.
Oh my gosh.
That's how far back his hairline had receded. And now it's grown in beautifully. Tell me what you think about age-wise. If you were looking at both of those, you'd say the gentleman on the left was actually older. But that's the before, right?
Yep.
So, and then the next one that we have is a woman also, very similar to what I had on the sides. Why I like this Ultima 9 is you can hold this right where your trouble spot is. So it's ultimately flexible as well. Beautiful hair growth after 16 weeks there.
So
and look how you can just aim it where you need it.
Where you need it to be. It is 3 times a week, 11 minutes each time in the privacy of your own home. A301172 is your item number. This is the lowest price Ultima 9 we've ever had, and this is the first day we've had it on the 6 months of Easy Pay, and that's our best Easy Pay that we can give you of $31.50. But it's only here until the end of the day. That Easy Pay goes away at the end of the day. So I feel like if you're on the fence and you're like, how do I invest in, getting that hair back? This is the day. This is the item to do it. Ellen, thank you so much.
You're welcome.
Thanks
It was
for
great
sharing
seeing
your
you.
own story. I do want to say, as I mentioned, Easy Pay going away at the end of the day, that this 6 months return policy, you saw some of those results. You said starting in 16 weeks, you should see something. So feel confident that if you fit into that hereditary hair loss for men and women, you will see results. 90% of men and women in that hereditary hair loss saw new hair growth. Thank you, Ellen. I appreciate it. You know what? We saw this earlier from M-Joy. Megan Murray bringing us the Trimma, the Buffa, which I totally love, this duo together. We started with 1,900 of these. Oh my gosh, we only have 300 remaining, and now in teal only. Oh, in teal, and then a few more in the pink. 2 easy payments of $14.98. This is how you keep your nails buffed, trimmed, shined, perfect. Hands and feet in the privacy of your own home, under $30, 8297195. We're going to be back in a second because you know what? I'm going to have Megan Murray back, and then I'm also going to have another presentation of our today's special value, Clarisonic, the best beauty device 8 times. We're coming back.